Ranked him very high on their list of best guitarists of all time. His new group, Prophets of Rage, will soon begin its 35-city Make America Rage Again tour. Tom Morello! Mr. Ranger, how are you?
What's up?
Okay. Tom Morello.
Yes,
now,
sir.
what does your hat say?
Make America Rage Again.
Okay. I have one that somebody says Make America High Again with a pot leaf.
Well, there's a lot of hats in the
there's a lot of
upcoming year, I imagine.
So the new group is called, what is it called?
Prophets of Rage.
Okay,
Yes.
so now Rage is always in your title.
That's correct, that's correct. But this group is myself and Tim and Brad from Rage Against the Machine, Chuck D and DJ Lord from the mighty Public Enemy.
Super group.
And Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Wow.
And one of the reasons why we formed now was because the media has both referred to the Trump campaign and the Sanders campaign constantly as raging against the machine.
Right.
We came to set the record straight, what it really means
Yes.
to rage against the machine. We're embarking on a 35-city tour. The first stop is at the Republican National Convention, and one of the things that we've raged against in our entire career is economic inequality. So we wanted to make sure that there was no economic barrier to coming to the show. Tickets start at $20, and we give away a portion of the proceeds to homeless charities in each city.
Okay. You know, Paul Ryan is a fan of Rage Against the Machine.
Paul Ryan is a fan of Rage Against the Machine. Hitler was a vegan. What's your point?
Okay.
There's no litmus test for people
No,
being
I know.
fans of music. And
What would you do if Trump...
He's got the PX90 workout going to Rage Against the Machine. He's not really listening to the lyrics, is my suspicion.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
What would you do if Trump started to use one of your songs at his rallies? Because that happens a lot.
I'm surprised he hasn't.
Right.
On the one hand, I'd be afraid of sort of fueling the media by saying anything about it. But on the other hand, I would go choke his ass out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, now, I mean, you've always been very political. It seems like you would be a Bernie person, but you did not endorse either.
No, I didn't. I mean, while I admire the fact that he's tried to hijack the corporate Democratic Party and make it a People's Democratic Party,
right.
That's one strategy. It's a fine strategy, and that may or may not work. My strategy is pitchforks and torches and drive them all into the sea.
But then who would run shit?
But then who would run shit? Well, I mean, let's all just promise to be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but you're not an anarchist. Don't tell me that.
Where have you been, Bill? I mean, that's like, I mean, I've...
Not a real anarchist. Well, it's one thing to sing a song.
It's one thing to sing a song.
You know anarchy would be worse. You've seen The Purge.
I was the scheduling secretary for U.S. Senator Cranston for 2 years. So I got to see how the political sausage is made on the killing floor. And it is absolutely disgusting. It cured me of any desire to be for the Democratic or Republican parties. I think the deeper problems are systemic. And speaking up against those problems in your vocation, whether you're a talk show host or a guitar player, I think is the important thing.
Well, but somebody's... as imperfect as they are, somebody has to make the sausages, because people have to eat.
Yeah. Then someone has to make the sausages, but I think that to cast your ballot into the void every 4 years and hope that someone's going to wave a magic wand and make the country to your liking is not the way that progressive, radical, or revolutionary change happens. It always comes from below. In my music, and in our music at Prophets of Rage, that's the demographic that we speak to.
Okay. Yeah. You know, as Churchill said, democracy, the worst system except for all the others.
Well, as Martin Luther King said, there's no hotter place in hell than for people who stand on the sidelines during time of moral conflict. This is a time of moral conflict, and it's time to get off the sidelines, not just to cast a ballot, but to fight to get the wheel of history in your hands.
All right, let me ask you something personal. Muhammed Ali, we saw his funeral today.
Yeah.
You met him on a plane.
I did.
When you were a kid.
I did. I was 9 years old, and I was flying an Air Jamaica flight from Kingston to Chicago, and over the PA system...
An Air Jamaica
Air Jamaica flight. I was in Jamaica.
They don't even need a plane.
Yeah. And over the intercom came a voice that sounded very much like Muhammad Ali, and that voice said, I'm Muhammad Ali, and I'm flying this airplane. But don't worry, because I'm the greatest at flying airplanes, too. And I'm confident that all of you want my autograph, so I'm going to come down the aisle and sign all your stuff. And he did. And I still have my Air Jamaica ticket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he was the first to do that. I have to tell you, I was a pretty young kid when he became champion, but I was just aware enough to know that what he was doing, the bragging, I'm the greatest stuff, was completely revolutionary. And for everybody who's younger, who grew up in a world with hip-hop, where braggadocio was a big part of life, you know, I used to say, rap is affirmative action for the ego. Muhammad Ali invented hip-hop.
Yeah.
That probably would not have existed without him.
That's quite possible.
Or he certainly did it first.
Yeah. Well, while his bragging may have gotten my attention, what I was attracted to Muhammad Ali was how he used his vocation to inflict his worldview on the public, and it was unapologetic. And there's been a little bit of sort of in the same way with Nelson Mandela, a whitewashing of who Muhammad Ali was. He was a person who said, you may not like my religion, but it's my religion. You may not like the color of my skin or my opinions, but I'm just as American as you are, and the powers that be can shove it, because I'm the champion of the world, and I'm the people's champion. And that's the thing, as a kid, made me think, in my vocation, I can express my opinion in a way that is unapologetic as well.
Okay.